Hey everybody, welcome back to the Long Way YouTube channel. My name's Bucky, and on this episode we're going to be getting started on something other than the dadgum floor. I think the next thing we're going to get started on is getting this back wall picked back up and getting the holes drilled to get it mounted permanently. So we also got to weld it to the floor here. I haven't really figured out how we're going to make that work yet, but stick around. You guys are going to learn it with me today. All right, first things first, we got to get this thing picked back up here. So when we get down here on the ground level, you see we did a really good job of matching that curve. And then what we're going to do now, we've got these two bolts. I assume that these were put there for whenever they built the truck. These will bolt on to hold it in place while they go in there and weld the back side. Now I did get a little crazy with the air hammer, so I get to fix this. So I'll do that here in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get the cab set. Got two of those on each side. We're going to get the cab level and plumb. If you guys are do it yourself, or you guys have probably tried this. So you can take one of these, which is something that you would normally use for, say, tile or whatever you're using in your kitchen. And what you'll do is you'll kind of set that up to where it's level with where you want the level, which is here, which is the bottom of this door jamb, or the bottom of this door piece of trim. Then you'll make sure that it's level. So whenever we come over here, that is about, I'll use a tape measure here in a minute, but that is a little over quarter. That's about 3/8 of an inch. We can get that to zoom in from there to there. So that's 3/8 of an inch that this has got to go down. Let's go check it on the other side. That right there is going to be right at a little less than a quarter. A little less than a quarter there. And then this one here is going to be that's pretty close. Maybe an 1/8. What I do want to make sure is that our body line from here to where this one's going to be to where this one's going to be to here is right, is close enough. And a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch isn't that big of a deal. I'm not really worried about that over there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got a lot of room, a lot of space that we have to take out to get this to land on the floor so we can weld it. So I've got a way that we're going to do that, but firstly we are all the way touching the floor here for whatever reason. So we're touching the floor here, so I'm going to bring this down whatever distance this is, and that's 3/8 of an inch. If we bring this down 3/8 of an inch, we should be within an 1/8 of an inch here, which is the same as over there, which is the same as over there. Okay, I have no idea why I didn't want to say anything during this clip, but primarily what we're trying to do is we need to drop the passenger side 3/8 of an inch, and the driver's side just needs to be cleaned up. Whenever I put the level across the back, it was a little bit high level-wise on the passenger side, which this is going to allow us to take that little bit out of that passenger side, and it's going to drop it down nice and tight to the floor so we can get those 3 bars welded in the middle. right, guys, when we got it cut out, I'm gonna show you guys, it laid in there really nice. You guys can see it's perfectly flush here. We got a nice area to weld to, and then when she set in there, she made that clunk sound. So both sides, whenever it laid in there, it went clunk, and then once we pull this in here, we're going to be able to pull that in and weld it up nice and tight once we get it square, level, true, plumb, and all those fun things. So I'm going to go ahead and get the level set up and make sure that we did what we thought we were going to do. All right, so I got the lights turned off. We'll see how good we can see this here. Let me eat some of that laser light. So if you guys can see right here, I'll run ahead and put a piece of tape on there. We are pretty much splitting that line right there. But it is, here's the seam here. It's setting about a 1/16 of an inch up on the seam. I'm not going to argue about a 1/16 of a daggum inch. Not this cat here. So let's get this spun so we can see how we're doing across the way. Let's go check it out over there. But I gotta say, a 1/16 of an inch is finer than a frog's hair. Split 3 ways and set it on the corners, as my grandpa would say. See how we're at over here. It don't get a whole lot better than that. I mean, we're right on the line in the same spot as the other side. I had to put something up so you guys can kind of see. It's this side here isn't touching, it's low by about a 1/16 of an inch. So what that means is that from each corner we're a 1/16 of an inch off across a big old space. I'm very happy with that. It don't get no better than that, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. All right, everybody, so we've got the cab set where we want it. We've got it level as far as up and down. Now we've got to get it set left to right. That's what these bolts are for. So we're going to get them drilled out, get the bolts put in with some capture nuts inside of the 2x6 frame. After that, we'll be ready to go around to the other side, get the holes drilled to set the little pieces of metal in to get it welded in permanent. How low can you go? How low can you go? Another thing, when you get to the very end and you're using these drills, if you do have a drill that has a lot of torque and you're pushing real hard on a high speed, it's going to probably whip around and hit you in the mouth. So when you get close to the edge, you'll feel it start coming out. Just pull back on your pressure a little bit and let it pull its way through, and that's what you'll get. There we go. 2 down, 2 to go. We're fixing to break through, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and ease back. There you go, Yahtzee. No smoke, no sizzle. We're good, folks. We have got 4 holes drilled. Now we're gonna kind of slide this thing up out of the way. And now that we know where our holes need to be, we're going to go ahead and get our bolts welded in, and that'll be that. We got a couple of locations here. We know they're dead nuts where they need to be, but we got to make sure that we don't get crazy with this drill bit and get it all wallered out. Same rules apply with keeping it cool. These are the bolts we're going to use. These are original nuts. Originally these went into captured nuts, but I had some extra ones from the other truck, so we need to go out just enough to get that hammered in there like that. So we don't have to open it up but about another 2 times. Another 2 steps on step bit. So we got to go deep and have problems where. So we're going to get the first step out of the way. And we'll take progress as we go. Working the first step, a little bit on that side. We might work force, we won't step. We're going to hammer through the back step. Real close, a little bit more. Famous last words, just a little bit more. That's close. I'm gonna get a pecker. You gotta use your peckers accordingly. This is a pecker. This is a pecker too. This picker is for doing body work. And if you're beat this thing up over here and put a bunch of dents in it, your body work's gonna have a bunch of dents in it. So use a stupid hammer. Well, that is about piss perfect, as I would call it. That is how you do that. Now we just got to do it 3 more times. Oh, that's a finger. That hurt. I'm gonna feel that one later.
Funky butt loving. Did he say funky butt loving?
I didn't blow the end of it up, but I got it real good. A really good friend of mine one time was driving a ground rod in with a 10-pound sledgehammer, and he was holding the ground rod and driving it in, and the butt of the sledgehammer he was using caught on his britches and slid that thing up just enough that he hit that lightning rod, ground rod, right there, and just crabbed me to the end of his finger. It hurt so bad he couldn't even cuss. He said, "Is it bad?" I said, "It's bad." Let me tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to be all happy that you done it right and drive that sucker right out of the back side, because then you're going to have a rattly cab, especially whenever that thing gets in there bouncing around with that diesel engine rattling, that Cummins. Watch your eyes, everybody. Contact. So ran into a little problem over there a while ago. I decided I would put this in with this, and it ended up with that. So probably shouldn't have used this, but oh well. My kids one year for Christmas bought me this really handy dandy Holy Grail max set of taps and dies. So I'm going to go ahead and just chase all of these out. This is the gun you use when you don't know how much torque it's going to take to get it out, but you know how much you're going to use. That's this one. And that right there is going to go in the one more never again pile. Listen. Yep. Ding. Alrighty. That's a wrap. Let's Well, boys and girls, they went straight in. That, boys and girls, and sports fans. Oh man, that sturdied up nice. Got our pieces laid in, so when we set it down and bolt the cab in, these will set themselves where they need to be, and then we'll do some final adjustments, and then we'll rosette weld these in, and then we'll be able to come by and get these tack welds in here, and then we'll be done with the floor. So let's go ahead and get her set down. Oh, I like that fit. Laid in there right nice. All right, so I've got the door set up here. You guys get a sneak peek at the suicide door. I'll back up here a little bit. I've got this one here prepped and ready to go. This isn't really where it's going to sit. I know it's going to be 5 inches off the back and 8 inches off the front whenever we actually set that in. But I wanted to get a good feel for how this looks. So I made sure to level this. The square with the floor is a little bit out. I mean, just a little bit, but I'm not that worried about it. I want this to look right. So the back of that is level and plumb. And then the front of this door is level and plumb. And then when you get to the top, it's level. And there's a little bit of a gap there, but I'm gonna build a new cap piece that goes on here that takes these two brackets into place, or these two posts into place, and or in to count. And then that's where we're going to put the new caps on. But I'm happy with this. We're going to start welding. We've done all of our prep work. I know it's level. I know that it's square enough for what we're doing. So I've got clamps all along the back side to pull it up, and I'm going to weld it to the center, and then I'm going to spin around to the back side, move the clamps, and weld it on across as we go across, making sure that we're staying level the whole way. This is a pretty momentous occasion to have this back piece set and be able to build forward from there. So really, really good progress. Man, I know you guys probably can't hear me because of the welder going off, but I have entirely overdone that. He didn't need to have that many welds, but they don't call it the long way for nothing. That is all welded in. I'm gonna take the strap off of it and double check, make sure everything's level, but we know it is because we strapped it all in. And I'm gonna go ahead and go in the house with the kids and watch a little football. So I think we're probably gonna wrap this here for the back. Everything is nice and straight and level and true, and we're ready to start on the doors. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up and get it primed. Thanks for sticking around. If you guys get value out of the content, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and just hit the subscribe button. It really will help the channel whenever people start watching. So thank you.